Good morning. It's raining again. It's raining. I wasn't anticipating that. I knew there was a chance today, but I didn't think it would be just raining this morning. So, no seed deliveries today. I had these 3 boxes of beans that we treated yesterday, so getting the lids put back on them. And they're ready to go, but we gotta wait for it to stop raining. Back down here in the shop, and I was taking care of a few odd things, some stuff on the computer for seed business stuff. And on our corn planter here, we had to add that antenna for the 360 rain for the tracking, so that it knows where the planter was and where to build the paths for the rain to follow. Apparently one of my measurements didn't get saved, so I measured that, sent it off to the dealer so they can send it in. They're working on getting that stuff done. We gotta go out here and sort some fertilizer stuff out. Okay, so these pallets here are all foliar products, stuff that we're gonna spray on some of our corn and soybeans as a way to try and push the yields, I guess. Most of this is from the Andersons, different things that I bought. There's actually a couple more pallets over in the new part of the barn that we need to get, and actually I'm probably going to take these over there, and I want to sort them out by application timing and by crop. So I have here these kind of sheets that describe their program a little bit, and I mean, I went with the best program for the most part. So like this is on soybeans. So at V5 we're going to apply Phosphix, Micro Blitz, and Sweet and Easy. So I want to put that stuff on a pallet, label it V5 soybeans. And then we have some R1 stuff, Micro Blitz, Easy Molly B, R3. And that way we've got it all kind of labeled out and sorted, and I know what's going where, and it's easy to get to when it's time. Now the Sweet and Easy, that's a sugar product. That is actually in a tote here. We needed enough of that for to justify buying it in a tote instead of boxes, because boxes or jugs they're not fun. Okay, we have all this stuff moved over here to the new part of the shed. We got a little bit of room, and we're going to sort through all of these pallets. I got some empty pallets and laid out so we can set stuff on. The first one is this V2 on corn application, which is like we're already to V3, so it needs to happen as soon as we can get into the fields. Like that is the next job that we will do. We'll be able to do that before we can start side dressing again. Yeah, I was hoping to do it today, but 2 tenths of rain this morning, probably not going to happen. So we're probably looking at tomorrow, but we should be able to get that application done. And that is this Micro Nourish FE. It's iron. Let's see, what do we got in here? 4% nitrogen, 3% sulfur, 1/4% boron, 1% iron, 3% manganese, and 2% zinc. All things that corn needs, especially early in its life. Those are all good things to have on there. We're going to spray that at 1 quart to the acre. So we've got 25 gallons. That'll do 100 acres. We're also in that application going to add 2 quarts to the acre of Sweet and Easy, which is in that tote over there. I do have some boxes of it over here, some jugs, but we'll just use up the tote first. Okay, our second application is going to come very quickly, soon after V5, V6 corn. Let me write that on there. V5 to 6. And we are going to put on 1 pint to the acre of this Phosphix, which is, again, a little bit of nitrogen and some phosphate and some potash. Okay. And then we're going to use 1 quart to the acre of this product called the Micro Blitz, which has got nitrogen, phosphate, potash, boron, copper, iron, manganese, molybdenum, and zinc. And does this have a humic acid? Also contains non-plant food ingredient carbon. I bet that's very black. So, yeah. So we're going to put that on at 1 quart to the acre. We'll add another quart of our Sweet and Easy. So we've got 12.5 gallons of the Phosphix. We've got 25 gallons of the Micro Blitz, and we will use 25 gallons of the Sweet and Easy out of the tote. Now, with this application, we will also be adding Source and a fungicide. what's my fungicide that I've got? I don't know. Quilt, I think. Generic quilt. So that one's going to have some non just plant food stuff. It'll have also some fungicide and some other stuff in it. That's why we're adding this stuff, because we're making that application anyway. So from our V5 application, we've got a little bit of a gap to the next one. The next one is a VT application. So we're going to go from a V5 corn in probably a week or 2 weeks to now we're middle of July when we're tasseling before our next application. This one will go on with the Haggy along with our Miravis Neo fungicide. But we're, again, doing that same 100 acres. And we're going to do a product called Overpass 2202, which is 22% nitrogen, 2% potash, 1% sulfur, 0.5% boron. So the stuff we need at reproductive stages of corn growth, and that is at 1 gallon to the acre. So we've got a big pile here. This is a significant application, putting on that 100 gallons or 1 gallon to the acre. And then we're going to use this product here called Easy Molly B. It has got a little more nitrogen, a lot more boron, and a little bit of molybdenum in it. Quart to the acre, so 25 gallons there. We're going to put another 2 quarts of our Sweet and Easy on, and then of course our fungicide. So much more robust application than the first two there. Now that could be it. That could be it. But if I can line up a drone or figure something out with that we can make a later application, we've got one more that I would like to do at a R3 application. And for that R3, we've got another gallon to the acre product here. Super B25, which is 25% nitrogen and 0.5% boron. So boron is extremely important in the reproductive stage. It is where we get our grain quality and test weight and really pack those kernels out. Important all year, but especially in the reproductive stages, which is why we're putting it on late and why we're putting it on at VT in 2 different products with boron in it here. So I used to put boron in actually with my starter in my 2x2 with the old planter and stuff. Which there's some risk to doing that and putting it in, especially in furrow, which I was not doing, but it's more needed late. That was just my way of applying it before, because we weren't doing the tassel fungicides in the late season stuff. Now that we're doing more late season applications, I've taken the boron out of the planter starter and we're doing it foliar instead, which is a more efficient way to do it. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. It is possible, especially with this and where it is going, that we'll throw a second shot of fungicide in, depending on tar spot conditions and stuff. But the plan is to do this in the irrigated field, and then I've got a test strip over there where my high management is around the corner here. But we're going to have most of this up in the irrigated field that's going to be pushing. Well, that's why we're doing it there, right? We're trying to push 300 bushel corn, if not more. And so by using this stuff and the fungicides and everything else, we're hoping to get there, but we'll see. So anyway, that is the corn program. We've got 4 foliar applications. We have our get it done as quickly as possible V2 application. We have a V5, V6 timing with our early fungicide. We have a VT with our tassel fungicide, and we have an R3 with potentially a late fungicide, but we'll see on that one. So those are the what we've got. I've got written on a box on all the pallets of what they are and when they go on. So I'm going to set those off to the side, and then we'll do the same thing for beans. Okay, after a little sorting and reorganizing here, I'm a little off on my bean program from what I intended to have and what I actually have, and so we'll have to make a couple phone calls, figure out what I should do, if I should try and get the product that I'm missing or not. But our first application is good. We've got this pile here, V5 soybeans. We've got, again, enough for 100 acres. We're going to use some more of that Phosphix, which is the same thing we were using on V5 corn over here. So that's here, same rate, pint to the acre, 12.5 gallons. And then we have some more of the Micro Blitz. Again, we use that in some corn as well, quart to the acre, 25 gallons total. And then the Sweet and Easy, which is in the tote in there at 2 quarts, so 50 gallons to the acre of that. Then we move on to R1 soybeans. Now, there's not a huge difference in time between V5 and R1. R1 should happen sometime around the 20th of June, most likely. Probably sometime between then and the 1st of July is when we'll make that application. This one will be sometime in the first half of June, maybe in another 2 weeks, I would say. I want the beans to grow, get a little bigger, and get a little more leaf tissue out there, because anything that hits the dirt isn't really doing us any good. We need this to get on the leaf tissue, and the more leaf tissue we have out there, the more we're going to get on it. But this timing still matters. So anyway, so then at R1, which is beginning bloom, as soon as we start seeing flowers, the beans are considered R1 growth stage. And it's more of the micro blitz, same thing that's there, and Easy Molly B, which is in this jug, and that's just a pint to the acre rate, 12.5 gallons total. Something we also used on the corn on the VT application over there. So again, you know, that boron right when we're trying to start reproductive stages, VT, R1, same growth stage, different crops. And then we go to our R3 application. This one will get made, I didn't write on the boxes yet, this one will get made with the R3 fungicide application. We have 100 gallons here, so a gallon to the acre of this overpass. It is a 10-2-10, and should have a little boron in it, manganese, potash, phosphates, and nitrogen. Anyway, the thing that we are missing is this product called Correct. I'm supposed to put another gallon to the acre of that. I'll have to look it up to tell you exactly what it is. But I do have another 100 gallons of that overpass, 10-2-10 or whatever it was. So somehow I ordered double of that and none of the Correct, which is a mistake. So I'm debating whether I get it or what we do, but we'll do that. And then we also need 2 quarts of the Sweet and Easy there, which is in the tote. However, by this point, that tote's going to be empty. So I've got a bunch of boxes of it right there. And then the rest of this stuff down here is kind of, well, it's different company stuff that we're going to use in some different trials. I got to figure out where we're going to put that yet. We'll have to see what we're going to do with this extra overpass, probably use it up somewhere. And then I have some of this microcarb, and this was supposed to go in starter on beans. I have a couple of totes in there that were supposed to be starter on beans with a product called First Pass. Get it? First Pass, Overpass, that's that season pass. They kind of like that theme with some of their products, but this was going to get added into that First Pass starter, but I didn't plant any beans with the corn planter, and I don't have starter capabilities on the bean planter, so that didn't happen. All right, so I'm going to check my records and make sure that I actually ordered the wrong stuff and they didn't ship me the wrong stuff, but we'll figure that out. Brock's here this morning. Everybody keeps asking where you're at all the time, Brock. Working, but not here. Anyway, he's going to start cleaning up that tank and doing a little bit to the planter. We can pull the plates out of the planter, detension the brush belts, and that kind of stuff, because we are done with the corn planter. We can't really get it out. I guess I could use the 8430 or the 8R now, because it's got the right display in it. So we could, but I'll have him start with that tank. We'll get that thing cleaned up. I'm going to go to town and get some RV antifreeze that I didn't do yesterday, and some new work boots, because chicken litter water. All right, I called my Anderson's rep, and they are checking into the order that I had placed and stuff to see if I made a mistake or they made a mistake or what exactly happens there. We'll get it sorted out. That's the R3 bean application. That one's, you know, end of July, August timing, so we got plenty of time, and it's not the end of the world one way or the other. So we are off to Burl King, RV antifreeze, and boots. Let's see what else they got. It's Rural King, they have cool things there. Boots and RV antifreeze. Got it. I made it back from the store, and on the way back I got a call from one of my customers who I had been trying to get together with to pick up his boxes, and I owed him a little bit of a refund for some beans that he returned. So I was dropping that off, and or wanted to drop the check off and pick up the boxes. And when I got back, Dad had taken my truck and the old gooseneck trailer to load up chemical shuttles, so we had to take Dad's truck, put 3 boxes in the back. They fit. It's fine. It's fine. Wasn't ideal, but he's only a couple miles away, so no big deal. We got those picked up. We're gonna get them unloaded here, and we'll go down and see how Brock's doing at the farm. We were having some issues with our overhead door there last week. Dad cleaned up some connections in the push buttons and seemed to have fixed it, but we called the door company and had them come out, and they're gonna look at all 3 of our overhead doors and just kind of make sure they're lubricated and working as properly, and there's a couple of screws pulled out on the spring brackets up on that one, so they're fixing that. Brock's been taking bowls out of our planter and getting the seed out of it and doing a little cleaning, preliminary cleaning. One very full bag of corn left, open bag. The other two were ones that we had thrown up there just to make sure we didn't run short, so probably could not have gotten away with opening one less bag. We would not have had enough seed in the planter to finish planting, so we had the right amount. We'll store that bag, open bag, for next year and throw it in at some point with all the leftover plot seed from next year, and we should be good. So this can be cleaned up and put away basically at any time. Really, we need the 8RX to get it unfolded, but we have a G5 monitor in our 8R now, so actually that tractor could hook up to this and get it unfolded just fine. Our door guys are done. Got everything tuned up and working good, fixed up a little bit. We got this tank back up here. I had Brock go ahead and grease it. He got it washed up while I was gone, getting that RV antifreeze. I had a leak at the fitting here, so took that apart, and we're going to reseal everything, put it back together, and put a new hose on it. Did you find a hose? Okay. So we'll get that done, and then we'll put this away, and we'll drag it out the day we start planting corn next year. So that's how this works. All right, scratch that. We do not have any hose. Brock found some, but it was the wrong stuff. It's the light-duty, the green or yellow, that it'll crack, because this has got that loop in there so that our tongue can turn. You can't just connect it straight. It'll stretch it and it'll break. You have to have that loop in order for it to be able to turn and pivot and stuff. And that loop in it would crack in a very short amount of time with the light duty hose. This black stuff is the heavy duty. It has lasted for 12 or 14 years or whatever it's been. And we'll just put another one on there. But we did get this sealed up. I thought about taking all of that off and redoing it, replumbing this whole thing. But realistically, the only thing that I would change is to go to manifold fittings instead of threaded fittings, and the only one that was leaking was right here, and really I think it was the hose, not even the fitting so much, so we redid that. It should be fine. We'll get it put back on here and put it away. I'll get a piece of hose. I gotta go get a hose or some stuff from the place where we get hose tomorrow anyway, so I'll grab a chunk, we'll put it on there, and this will be good to go. All right, I have got to go meet up with my Sound Ag rep, Source, and we're gonna go see one of my customers, seed customers that had sort of expressed some interest in the Source, and I'm gonna pick up my boxes while I'm there, so we're gonna take the Chevy truck and the gooseneck. He's got 3 boxes and 2 pallets, I believe, so should all fit. Well, it will fit on the trailer, obviously, but we're going, so might as well get the stuff while we're there.